Welcome to the Unstuck Yourself Daily Dose with Brittany Bigley. The Unstuck Yourself Daily Dose is part of the Live Bigley community, giving you the resources and knowledge to help you live the life you were born to lead. Hello, I am Brittany Bigley coming to you with the Unstuck Yourself Daily Dose, and today I wanted to jump on and talk a little bit more about, I think I alluded to this in the last episode of, the growing pains of taking aligned action. But when we want to make changes in our life and we want to take more aligned action, we must let go and surrender and essentially kill off a part of ourselves that are not able to come with us into the future. I think that's why a lot of people resist change, because we're changing habits, and a lot of these habits were really, really ingrained into us. Some of them have been conditioned parts of us and ingrained in us since we've been really young, part of like our childhood conditioning. And when we want to confront those and begin to change those parts of ourselves, it really does feel like there's a death of a part of ourselves, because we can't bring it into the future. Something about us needs to be able to change, and we can't bring it to the future. So therefore, we're essentially killing off a part of ourselves that we want to change. And I think that for some people, and it depends on what it is, but I think for some people that can feel like a really big transformation and a death and rebirth process. I know for me personally, the last couple of things that I've really worked on, parts of myself that I've brought into my therapy sessions that I'm like, this is just not working for me anymore. It was something that was keeping me safe at one point in my life, and now I want to change it because it's hindering me from moving forward and progressing, right? It's a coping strategy that I created for myself when maybe I was younger, but it's no longer serving me anymore. So I want to change it. But really, some of these things I've had to take a half a day, a full day to really just confront that part of myself, maybe go back to a part of myself, my core wound, and revisit that little Brittany that, at that time created that coping strategy and reparent. But it really has felt like this big death rebirth process. And I think for some of the more ingrained parts of ourselves that we're wanting to change, or maybe I call it when we're peeling back the layers of the onion, maybe some of the things that are like super, super in the core of that onion that we're wanting to explore, parts of our psyche that we want to explore, those core pieces of ourselves, it can really feel like a death and rebirth process. And again, it's because there's a part of us that we cannot take into the future in order to continue taking aligned action towards the future that we see for ourselves and we believe that is in alignment with our most authentic selves. And so it really is a death and rebirth process. And that can be really hard. It can be hard to even face one, right? Like that's a big process. Our culture in general doesn't like to confront death, talk about death. And so when you're confronting the parts of yourselves that need healing or acceptance, they need to be witnessed. That it's just this big death and rebirth process, and it leads to really beautiful transformation, but it's really hard to confront. It's really hard to go through. It's beautiful on the other side. So if you're going through a death and rebirth process, if you're trying to change a part of you and you're kind of in the struggle, you're in the muck and the thick of it, don't give up. Keep going, because it's beautiful on the other side. But yeah, it can really be hard to change sometimes such ingrained patterns, coping strategies that we've had since we were younger from our conditioning. So if you're going through that process, all my love and energy is with you, because it's a really tough place to be, but good on you for even trying and taking the first steps of that change. And if this resonates with you, go ahead and give it a like. If you feel like this medicine can serve others, please go ahead and share it with them. And then if you want more content coming to you like this, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, happy healing and happy confronting the change and confronting the part of yourselves that can no longer go with you into the future if you want to take that aligned action. So happy healing, and I'll see you when I see you. Thanks for listening to the Unstuck Yourself Daily Dose with Brittany Bigley. The Unstuck Yourself Daily Dose is part of the Bigley community, giving you the tools and resources so that you can live the life you were born to lead.